We're live on the internet.
We're live on the internet.
We're live on the internet.
Woo!
Just some minor technical glitches. We're live on the internet. Checking to see if we've got questions and stuff that people have submitted, maybe? I don't know.
I'm reading comments.
Ooh, anything good?
Some really lovely comments, but no questions. So,
Alright, well, let's dive into a normal episode then.
we're good. So that works. Works for me. Can't see you well because I got a light right behind the dang camera. All right, I'm now super blind. This is good. We'll get going. And I'll go, welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We are two friends in fiber who knit, spin, crochet, craft, and talk everything in between, and somehow we've made it to 200 episodes.
It's a wild and crazy.
Because it's live, everybody gets my nose blowing. That's how lives work, people.
Are you eating breakfast or lunch?
No, I'm going to eat brownie.
Fair.
Brownie, because, let's be honest, 200th episode, we needed dessert thingies, and you have an epic fail about getting dessert thingies. I just called my brother-in-law, and he brought home brownies.
I have this epic donut. I have an ice wine and apricot donut.
Yeah, okay, I just have a regular basic fudge brownie that I'm eating out of a pan. I'm happy that way, thank you.
I felt like being a little extra.
Noises, popping that lid off and start eating now. Because I can.
Ooh, turns out my saga is slightly less epic than initially thought. I'm just an idiot that can't read minus signs. I did not get mysteriously charged twice. I got charged and then credited, so the system did fail, but it recovered in exactly the way it was supposed to, so nothing's actually wrong. I just can't read minus signs, apparently.
You know, when you get statements and work for yourself, the statement comes in with like a negative on it, takes you forever to figure out what the hell's going on. Being as someone who deals with QuickBooks and her own business, dude, minus is throwing me for a loop.
Sherry's in chat. Good day. Good day
to you
too. I have got to figure out better eye lines because, like, Jocelyn's over here, the camera's here, and chat's over there. It's great.
Jocelyn's working on her brownie. Well, we know for sure chat's running and everything's up and going. Why don't we start with what's in our cup?
It sounds good.
I'm drinking some coffee.
I'm drinking coffee too. I don't know what kind. It's my coffee subscription kind, so it's whatever kind they sent me this time. I made an Americano.
I'm drinking the dogwood coffee you got me for Christmas.
Nice. Fancy coffee for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Jen says, your desserts look lovely. Thank you. I'm quite pleased. I'm a little bit afraid to eat it because it's going to be really messy and then I won't have a beautiful donut anymore. Although I have like a whole bunch more donuts downstairs, so.
Yeah, I got a sheet pan brownie from the Co-op bakery via my brother-in-law. I just dug in, guys. It's brownie with a fudge topping.
I went to a fancy donut shop in Kitchener and I got their January mixer box, which is their 6 specialty January flavors. So I've got the ice wine and apricot here. The mint chocolate truffle is earmarked for Mr. Diana because he likes chocolate. There's also a Nerds donut, which is a donut with pink icing and the Nerds candy on top. It's also earmarked for me. Hello, Erin in chat. Thank you for joining us.
I can't do those samplers because, like, the Nerds have corn, and so like, I struggle to order from the fancy donut shops. I'd love to, but they don't let you pick which donuts that they have available that day, and I have to because even in the specialty donut shops, there's only like 1 or 2 I can have.
Yeah. Good morning, Lisa. It is afternoon for me, but good morning.
It's a Sunday. Time's fluid.
It is. There we go.
Who knows what's going on?
The picture of my donuts.
Donut.
I don't even know what half of them are, but they're so fancy. Love me some fancy donuts.
fancy, guys. Not fancy. Not fancy. What I need to do is keep backing myself up into frame because I'm not quite in frame. But I did manage to knock my lid off. Come here. I can't leave you on the floor. You have chocolate. I can't leave you when I get sick, and then I'll be annoyed at myself and my cat.
Wildflower Wool. Hi, ladies. Hello.
Louise! It's Louise from the Fiber Friends. That's Wildflower Wool.
Ah.
We're going to do a sweater off next month.
Oh, yeah?
Fun.
Okay.
We got to talk about it for details. Like, I don't know what week Louise is taking for vacation, so I don't know what week this is happening in.
It's going to require some serious planning.
I don't know. It's a part of the planning process I have not clarified yet. So I'm like, at some point in February, this will occur. Guys, I didn't charge my headphones last night, so background noise brought to you by I share a house with people. That's how that works.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean, I've got a bunch of like crap in my background, so it's fine. At least this is craft crap. Oh, right. Chat. Lisa says, yum. Jen says, the only place to get donuts in our town is Tim Hortons, so we don't really ever get donuts. Fair.
Fair, because you can make a homemade New Orleans beignet, which you can freeze. So you can make a big old batch to use that oil up right, and they taste better.
Then Tim Hortons, definitely. I still have not actually eaten one of the donuts from here, so I don't know how it is.
Yeah, no, that's generally what I do. Is I usually make a batch of beignets. Because once they're all made and they're powdered, I can put them in Ziploc bags in portion packs. Mm-hmm. And then I just pull a portion pack out in the morning when I get up and I make my breakfast. And then like around breakfast, like that coffee snack time, mm-hmm. which happens nebulously sometime between breakfast and lunch. They're thawed almost enough that when you put them in the microwave to warm them up, taste great.
That does sound lovely.
I'm one human being. Exactly how many beignets do I need at one given point in time?
All of them?
Not 24.
No, yes, that is the correct number.
24 is too many.
No.
It's all carbs and sugar. I'd like to see you eat 24 beignets straight, ma'am.
I can barely eat one.
Yeah, huh? That's what I thought. I'm a professional sugar consumer, and even I can't do that.
So yesterday, in moving all the boxes around, I got all my books onto my bookshelf.
Okay.
Including there's some like crafty ones down here.
Okay.
And I pulled all of my yarn out of the closet with the intent that it's going to go on these shelves over here eventually. It hasn't got there yet, but there's all the yarn.
Listen, moving and organizing is a big business. Back here is still a hot mess because I'm purging stuff. So I've got boxes to go out to the carport till we can take them out to be donated.
Oh, and I got my sewing machine on it's going to live roughly there. Although I realized a very sad thing. The power outlet that I was like, yeah, I can just plug it in. It's behind the bookcase.
Extension cord.
I got to move the bookcase.
Yep.
I have to put all the books on it.
Yep. Plug your extension cord in and then put the bookcase back.
I know, but I have to move the bookcase and I just put all the books on it, and I'm sad that I did not plan this better.
Yep, that's kind of how that works.
I'm sad.
At least you don't have as many books as your husband.
This is true. He also spent a good chunk of yesterday putting books on shelves, and we still have boxes of books in the living room.
He is like me in the book collecting category.
Specifically RPGs.
It's a problem. What he has is a problem. What I have is a problem. Mine has just moved to digital content downloads. So like if I had a physical book to represent all the digital books I own, my apartment would look like my ex-boyfriend's bedroom. There would be a path and just stacks of books. Stacks. But I don't. They're all digital, so it's all contained in one little tablet. Takes up a lot less room. Yep. Downside is because I'm purging, I'm sending you more books.
Oh, no.
Oh, more things for you to read.
Oh, tragedy.
The worst.
Tragedy.
All right. Well, I don't go anywhere yet. I know my province relaxed things on Saturday, and I saw all the photos of daft people standing out line to go shopping for things that weren't essential and went, whatever. And I've not left my house. I probably still won't leave my house because we still have like 10% 5-day test positivity rating in the province.
Mm-hmm.
We're still definitely too high and people are still dying. So no, absolutely not. I will not add to this. So I'm home. Not that that's a shock. So like I don't go anywhere. So it's an unusual assortment of socks and cardigans. That's about it, guys.
Oh, I finally washed my Comfort Fade cardi so I can actually properly wear it now.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I had a small adventure learning how the washing machine works in my new place.
I remember that story. Hang
Yeah, yeah. So story time, story time.
on, I'm getting brownie. Go.
So I have a washing machine
Bring a knife
next.
over? No, I'm cutting my brownie out of my pan with my spoon for my coffee.
Obviously, what else would you cut it out with?
I'm not getting up to get a knife.
So there's a utility sink right next to the washing machine in my basement.
Yeah, there's one
And
next.
I thought, okay, great. I'll throw in a load of laundry in the machine and I'll fill up the utility sink and I'll wash all of the hand washing that I've been putting off, including the sweater. Like, great. So I come back downstairs half an hour later because I have no idea how long the washing machines run. So I come down to check on it and oh, hey, there's water all over the floor. Like, all over the entire room. And I'm like, oh no. Turns out the washing machine empties directly into the utility sink, which I had plugged and already filled with water to do my hand washing. So it just came all out of the sink onto the floor, and there was a mat on the floor because the floor is a little bit slippery, just because it is. But the mat we had carelessly put on top of the drain on the floor, so it wasn't even draining because there's this rubber mat on top of the drain.
So your laundry room's clean.
The floor is very, very clean.
Yep. Yep.
We used a lot of paper towels to clean that all up because we hadn't brought the mop over yet. Because we're like always in here with our shoes on, moving boxes around, so we're like not cleaning the floor very well right now because track dirt in tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
So we had a broom and we had paper towels. But there was enough water on the floor that the broom was actually useful.
Holy Hannah. Like, it's just one of those things that happens sometimes. But oh man, I would have been panicking.
Oh, there was a little bit of panic. Fortunately, there's already a dehumidifier down there, just because it's naturally kind of damp down there.
Basements, yeah, they should have dehumidifiers. It's kind of just how basements
Yeah.
work. Living in a basement.
So we took the dehumidifier from one end of the basement and moved it into the laundry room and just let that run for like 3 days.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear cat behind me.
So it still smells real clean in there, and now I know not to do my hand washing at the same time as the washing machine.
That's fair.
Like I was just washing sheets, and it's like sheet soapy water into my hand washing water, so like it was clean water anyway. But it's just like, oh,
Oops.
like you think maybe I could have wondered a little more what that second tap in the utility sink was for?
No,
Like
didn't occur to you.
just for like a second, like half a second. Just like, nope, that exists. That's weird. I don't know what it's for. It's fine.
Randomly have circulars chilling.
Just chilling.
They're just chilling here. I don't know what they're for. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually.
Anyway, that's my long story about I washed my sweater and I learned some things.
Well, every day we're supposed to learn and get better and better, right?
Yes, I have learned. I am better.
Excellent.
There's too much learning. I don't want to learn that much in one day.
That learning is excessive. Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Excessive learning, yes.
Excessive learning? Okay. All right. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I am working on my socks. That is what I'm doing.
Okay. So that was what we did. What's in our cup? We did what we're wearing. So I think it's time to talk about what we're knitting.
That works.
Oh, and catching up on chat. Erin is saying, I love libraries. I can't afford a book and yarn habit. Fair.
Well,
Libraries are
Erin.
great.
What kind of books do you like?
Hey, yeah, you don't even have to pay for shipping if you're doing
I don't
that.
have to pay for shipping. Sweet. You like romance, right? Let me help you out with that problem. I have been giving away romance novels legit for years. Legit for years. I still have triple digits worth of romance novels. And people are not shy about taking my books because I don't want them to be. I want them to go to good homes where they'll be read. And I always let my friends look first before I donate them for charities and stuff. So it's like, you need romance novels. I've got you covered. Still, I'd like to get down to double digits this year. I've only been giving them away for 4 years now.
Goodness.
That would be great. It's my goal for 2021 is to only have double digit romance novels.
Oh,
That's
Erin,
not the other books. That's just romance novels. The other books are a whole other count.
Erin says yes, she loves romance novels.
Oh, beautiful. You're gonna have to come over and pilfer from my collection, what's left of it, so that they go to good homes and get read.
Lisa says, "Oh, Erin, brace for incoming."
Yeah, pretty much. I can't read physical books anymore, so keeping them in the house is just depressing. It just reminds me that I can't see as well as I used to, that I'm not as good as I used to be. So it just conjures up a whole bunch of negative emotions for me. So like they gotta go. They gotta go. There's no point in living angry or sad. They gotta go. What are you doing, quadruped?
Oh, and Sherry, thank you for your sympathy with my laundry story. It is appreciated.
Cat. Right there. That's where you came all the way out here just to find the blanket to lie on it. Okay, you're gonna get disturbed in a few moments.
Oh, I saw a cat in my backyard this morning. It was a big poofy calico thing.
Poofy calico thing?
Yeah. I've never seen such a poofy calico looking thing. Like, it was like all curled up on the top of the fence in the backyard. And I'm like, is that actually a cat? Or is that like a cardboard cutout of a cat that I just happened to have not noticed before because it's at the very back of the yard? So I actually went and stood outside for a little bit, like staring at it, trying to figure out if it was real or not. And then it ran away, so it was definitely real.
And the cat was like, "What the are you doing, human?"
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
pretty much.
SK, really? Do not get comfortable. I have to show that off.
Fiberfloozy Crafts. Good afternoon from Texas.
Woo! Texas.
Must be much warmer than here. Does snow happen in Texas?
Rarely.
It's just so far south, like, and like deserty, right?
Yeah. Well, I in unshocking news, I have a friend who lives in Texas, who's from Texas originally, because of course I do.
It would be shorter for you to list the like places where you don't have friends.
Yes, it would be. In this case, he came up and did university here at the University of Manitoba at the same time I was doing University of Manitoba. We met in our second year history courses for medieval history. It was his first year. It was my second year. And I laughed because he'd never seen snow before. So he had like the fall bomber jacket. Thought that was enough. We helped him. We got him some proper winter gear before it got too cold. Once we were done laughing at him. And it was him, and he's like, Lonnie's like 6'4", 6'5". I just a gaggle of girls because the rest of us were female. And it was me and him, and we were the tallest, and everybody else was like 5'7" and shorter. But it was him and me and then like 4 or 5 other girls in the history class that just bonded together that year. So we went everywhere together. We did coffees together. We studied together. It was a friendship group. It was hilarious because all the other boys sat in the back of the class. Lonnie sat in the front with us. Just probably why we made friends with him is because he would sit in the front of the class. It was the same year I met Emma. I became friends with her.
Miranda says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
And Fiberfloozy Crafts is 55 degrees and raining in Texas. 55 degrees is a little below room temperature, right? That's like 15 Celsius-ish, I think.
And I'd have to Google it. I don't remember. I know that's cold for Texas because they register in the hundreds in the summer.
And apparently it does snow. Mostly we have ice in Texas. Okay. Fair. Fair.
More dangerous than snow.
Yeah.
Ice is dangerous.
I guess it's time to talk about what we're working on.
Cool. Well, I've got 3 things. Do you got 3 things?
I got 3 things because I picked up a thing to work on because the other things require a little bit of counting.
I'm ribbing while we talk. Which means it'll either go spectacularly well like ribbing in the truck does, or really badly like ribbing when I'm not doing anything else does. There's just no in between. Guys, I'm going to start with my blanket of doom because, well, quite frankly, the cat's not on it right now. She's in the window well. And I know better.
Quick, do the blanket.
Quick to the blanket. All right. For the very last time, we have an FO.
Hey!
It's a queen size blanket. I cannot show you guys. You've seen the Instagram photos. It's the entirety of my bed. It's done. It's done. It's done. I did my border. The cat's been chewing on my blanket already. I did my border, which I did after I sewed all my squares. So you make the squares, you sew the squares, then you put the border on. Each side of this border took, or each round took about 2.5 hours.
Goodness.
And the foundation setup took about 3 to 4.
Gah.
It's a queen size blanket. It's a long round. It's 64 inches down one side and 80 inches down the other. And you got to do that twice to get all the way around.
Oof.
Oof, indeed. So I did my foundation row of single crochets to catch all my ends and make a nice stable base for a 3-round repeat of the granny stripe, which is just the granny square and stripe version. And then I did a single crochet border just on the edge of that, just to give it a nice finish. So this has had some ends woven in. I still have more ends to weave in from where I repaired some squares. Once that's done, it's getting a bath. If there are no issues after that, it's hitting the mail and it's going to my aunt. So for the last time, because you guys aren't going to see it after this, I might take one more photo for Instagram with the border. Who knows? I might not. This is a blanket done out of Bernat premium squares. Each square is 2.5 inches in diameter. There are 768 squares and a gray border. It's all Bernat premium. It's all acrylic. And I can guarantee you it's quite warm to sleep underneath because for the whole week doing the border, the only space big enough in my apartment to work on it without having it pull funny is my bed. So this has been my bed project plus my blanket all week.
Goodness.
A queen size bed, it fits.
Everybody in chat says it looks amazing.
I want to make a blanket for myself. That's myself. I'm not making gift blankets for a little bit because oh my word. There it goes. I put it down on the floor just for you to lie on. Bath day's tomorrow because tomorrow's laundry day. Today's Sunday. My laundry day is Monday. Are you going down on my pants? They're slippery pants. Thanks, buddy. She's now claimed it. We're good. But that's it. And that's still, if you do the math, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. I still did like 12, 14 hours worth of work on it this week. And that was just for border.
Gosh. That's
Done.
dramatically killing any desire that I ever may have had to work on such a project myself.
Are huge. So next week, look forward to me showcasing all of the work I started on my own blanket. I know how big the projects are. I know they take 10 to 12 months. I love the finished project so much, and I'm doing it again. I'm not doing that specific blanket because, dear God, no. But I'm going to pick up that one from the sister. That's the quilt. So you crochet the granny squares, but when you sew them all together, that looks like a quilt pattern. That's the one I'm going to.
Oh yeah.
Because I like the connect as you go technique rather than the sewing. So I have to pull apart the 4 grids I finished. I think it's 4 grids I finished. It's been over a year since I picked up that blanket. I don't know. I'm going to pull that apart. I'm going to start by pulling that apart and connecting them by undoing that last row and connecting them connect as you go. So each of my grid squares will be connect as you go. And then all I'm sewing is my bigger squares, which are all beige tiles. So my whip stitches will disappear.
Nice.
I've been thinking about it in the back of my brain, because if you sew 768 squares, you realize you dropped 30 plus hours into just sewing your blanket together. Easily.
That's
And
just
you don't want to do
depressing.
that. You don't want to do that. So you're going to go back in the project that you've only just begun. And I gotta the quilt one's got a name. I don't know if it's got a project page. It will once I pick it up and start working on it. As a side note, I'm never making a project page for socks, guys. If it's a sock with a sock pattern, I will make a project page for it. If it's just the basic vanilla sock I like to make, it's not happening. It's not happening. There's no point. It's just a flipping pair of socks. No point. But that's my big FO. 200th episode, finished a queen size blanket.
Nice.
Feel like that's my accomplishment for the week.
Okay. I'm going to say words and fill time for just a moment while I finish 4 more stitches.
Coffee is so tasty, Diana.
It is. Coffee is a glorious, glorious thing.
Ooh, tasty. Tasty, tasty, tasty. I can get my hair cut, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Sorry, what about a haircut?
You're allowed to have haircuts again now. Or I am. I haven't been allowed to have a haircut since November. Because we've been closed. 10 weeks. We got the official. We were in Red Coat Essential only purchasing for 10 weeks.
Gross. I don't understand the assumption with haircuts, because like
you don't get your hair cut.
I haven't like cut my hair in like 12 years.
Yeah. I'd like to go get a trim, but I get like a child's haircut. It's just cut straight across the bottom, which is what I would like. Because I've got
Diana's learned how to cut my undercut now, so like
some weird,
literally no reason.
Weird things going on. I'd like to go get a trim. I won't right away because we'll be back in lockdown if everybody behaves the way they were yesterday in like 2 to 3 weeks anyway. So I won't bother. But come this summer, I'll have to do an undercut again if we're in lockdown because I can't have this much hair in the summer. I can't.
Just like
if I can't
buzz
go
it all
in,
off. Buzz cut.
if I can't go get it thinned in April, I have to put the undercut back in. Because this is the only way to, because I have to take out 50% of the volume of my hair or I die in the summer. It's too thick. It's too thick.
Fiberfloozy says, I need a haircut and I don't want to do it myself. Ex-hairdresser. LOL.
You know, that helps.
Fair.
My sister does her best.
I do trim my own ends, but it's like
your hair goes to your butt.
I can literally like just bring it around to the front and cut it. So like
mine only goes to my bra strap. It's not that long.
It's a little more challenging to do it yourself.
A little more challenging. Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Miranda says, I'm in BC. We're not as restricted here. Yeah, BC's just been chiller, it sounds like.
Manitoba's had some nasty numbers, and we did lockdown, and we didn't do it soon enough. We didn't do it soon enough. We didn't do it hard enough. So we paid for it, and we weren't supposed to have a Christmas, though given the numbers you saw 2 weeks after Christmas, most people disregarded that and had Christmas anyway, so.
Yeah.
I suspect we'll see another bump and we'll have to go back into lockdown because people won't abide by the rules. They'll do what they want and they'll justify it. So
much for the phrase "avoid it like the plague."
Yeah. So I don't know.
Fiberfloozy says, "I want my spike back." Hair wise.
Yeah, that would be more maintenance than I put into my hair to keep and maintain it. Like my sister does the really short hairstyles too. Hers is right now, it's long enough to pull up in a ponytail. Driving her insane. She does not, it's at that awkward grow out length, hey? So she's got like bandanas to keep her hair out of her face. She's very grumpy.
She like, I just like all this hair stuff that I've just like never experienced.
Short haircuts require usually more consistent trimmings.
Yeah,
because the grow is awkward.
Grow,
I loved that inverted bob I had, but to get it done was 2 hours for the cut because of how my hair works. Because normally you would do a bob cut, you would do it as a straight cut, and then you you just sort of lightly use the razor to feather a little bit of it. You have to razor cut mine from start to finish to get it to lie properly. But I also get razor cut thinned all the way out to the front of my face, which is also not normal for most women. So welcome to my hair. Anyway, do we consume enough time for you to finish your stitches so you can talk about your project?
Yes. Sorry, just catching up on chat. Miranda, BC means bring cash, so we need to make money here, and I live way in the north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
BC's expensive to live in. Their living costs are high. They are high. High. Beautiful chunk of country. Beautiful chunk of country. So high.
Okay. I have done
What's that for sweater?
I have done about 2 more rounds on my sweater.
Woo.
While we were recording today, it is my roundy knitting for recording because nothing else is at a roundy stage. So yeah, this is roughly the same as it was last week. It's got 2 more rows on the last sleeve. You'd think I could just like finish this thing already? Just like it's so close. It's so damn close. Like it's like 3-4 hours, it'll be done. Probably not even like 2 or 3 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So once again, this is a sweater of my own design, which I have dubbed the Keep It Super Simple sweater, because it's just rectangles and tubes.
I don't know why you just go call it rectangles and tubes.
Because I want it to be the Kiss sweater.
Okay.
Keep it super simple. And it is out of the roving yarn from Revolution Woolco? Fiberco? Wool.
You bought it.
I know. Revolution Woolco. I can see the rest of it in the bin, like right here. That's the rest of it. I got 7 massive, like head-size cakes of the thing. I've put 3 into the sweater so far. I think I'm gonna have to just break into a 4th, which is gonna be really annoying. Like, it's not quite enough. Anyway.
Oh no.
I know. But like it's 5 strands of focus on it, not my face. There we go. It's 5 strands of roving. It is so squishy. It's so squishy and it's so warm and I'm melting and I gotta take this off my head. Oh my. Oh, it is so freaking warm.
I have back problems. I did not put the blanket on my head, Diana. It's too heavy. I would have put a crank in my neck.
Yes. Looking good. Bulky, yeah. Bulky yarn. It's probably like super bulky or jumbo. It's because each of the 5 strands is about worsted, so whatever 5 strands of like sport worsted held together would be. Big. I'm gonna go with super bulky. It's very big. I'm doing
jumbo!
I'm doing this on 12.75 millimeter needles, and like, yeah, it's big. Sherry says it's gonna look so cute on you. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I'm hoping it will look very cute.
I think she will love it. And it'll look great with that high-waisted skirt that you've been meaning to sew for 3 years.
Yeah. Who says, I use those individual strands to practice my drop spindling. I'd had that thought, but it makes such a cozy sweater. But yeah, it would be they're like, this is like if you're pre-drafting for spinning, I think this is probably what you're aiming for, each one of these strands.
Woo! That's thick.
It's, yeah. It is very thick.
That's
Fiber
thick.
Floozy. I wish I could pull off a cropped top. I mean, you just put it on and you like wear it with confidence, and there you're pulling off a cropped top.
Is it the same theory I function on for bikini bodies?
Yeah, put a bikini on your body. You have a bikini body.
Your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do. And yes, that means my abdominal scar shows. I don't care. You don't like it, don't look. The number of things that I have to see on the beach that I don't want to is impressive. Thankfully, that number is lowering now that I'm going blind.
There's
There's a
a
lot of
very,
stuff
very small few
just
benefits.
blurs out, and I'm like, nah, I don't gotta see it anymore. It's kind of nice. The downside is I have to be led to and from the lake like a small child because I can't find where I left everybody.
That's fair. Sometimes it's hard to do that when you can see people anyway. It's just too many people.
There's a lot of people here. So that's always funny to watch my 14-year-old niece lead me to and from the beach. So I don't know where, or I hear my mom go, "Oh, for heaven's sakes, go fetch your aunt." That's me. I like the water. It's hard to get me out once you get me in. All right, is it my turn?
I do believe it is your turn.
We're working on some grandpa socks. I was hoping to have these done today too, but you know what? Didn't happen. I did, however, have to throw out 3 pairs of commercial ankle socks because they're died. They're died, they're dead, they're done. So, okay, that happens. At some point you can't repair the damage. So I decided to turn these ones into ankles because right now I'm in more need of ankle socks than I am of full-length socks. So I've started the ribbing on my socks. So they have feet, they have heels, they've got a little short leg section, and I've just started in on the 2 inches of ribbing. I've just started in on the 2 inches of ribbing. You can't even tell I'm ribbing yet. That's how into the ribbing we are. So I call these my grandpa socks because they look like the color palette of most grandpa's wardrobes. They do. They're slate gray, dark gray, moody red, mellow mustard yellow. They're just little red checkered sections. They're grandpa's brown. They're grandpa socks. I did a garter stitch short row heel because I do 2 at a time toe up, and I have found that the extra squish that I get from the garter heel means the heels last longer in my hand knit socks than they do when I did stockinette heels. So of the heels that I have tried, these are the ones that seem to be wearing the best. So as I'm shorties, I'm fixing that problem by making my current pair of sock shorties. 2.25 millimeter? Yes. I think so. Wait, Asa gave me a thing for this. Not that I can read it on my own, but I can find out. It's ornament shaped. I'm not kidding. It's ornament shaped.
That is adorable.
Ornament shaped one. But I need my magnifying glass to read the numbers. So hang on. And I can tell you for sure, I think they're 2.25.
Fiber Floozy Crafts says, your grandpa socks are like the grandpa in Up.
They are like the grandpa in Up.
They totally are.
These are 2.25 millimeter needles. So says my ornament shaped gauge thingy, which does it in millimeters and US metric. I use the millimeter side because I work in millimeters. So they're totally the grandpa. They're also my grandpa's wardrobe sock color. So that's totally a thing that happens. So that's fine. I will absolutely be done by next week because 2 inches of ribbing, guys. And we all know me. I'll give out at about 1.5 inches and call it done. So
I mean, that's really all the ribbing you need. You rib until you're sick of it, and then you're done.
So I'm ribbing while we talk because that is the only, because I didn't reread the start of Clue 4 for the Cozy Up Knits thing. So not working on that right now. Whoopsies.
Do we want to talk about that one next, or do we want to talk about podcast anniversary?
Well, I didn't work on my podcast anniversary this week. I was finishing a blanket.
Right. Well, I'll talk briefly about my podcast anniversary then. Because it's still just purple.
Okay, it's still just purple?
It's still... Well,
if I'd continued working on my charts and I'd let myself work on those charts, I would not have gotten the blanket done. I would have gotten into the charts and would have never come back out again.
Tangle, untangle, untangle. There we go. Turn right side round. This is a process.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Holy beavers.
Well, I've got like 7.5 inches of fabric that goes around my shoulders but jammed onto these little needles. So, like, it's a bit of a process.
Can you please buy yourself
Some longer cords?
longer cords and stop putting it off? You're killing me. Buy some longer cords.
But I don't need the longer cords. It works fine.
You need the longer cords.
So this is the Ome tea by Noriko.
That looks like you're making something for an infant.
It does. I swear it does actually. I do believe it fits though, because like this is the neckline.
Oh, I believe you. You just can't tell because
I
don't
know
have
this is all jammed
cord.
up. But yeah, this is the neckline, and then it comes down. I'm ready to split for the sleeves on this thing, which is why I'm not working on it right now, because it requires counting and taking stitches off and putting stitches on. But
Tell me
it
what
is.
cords you use, and I will buy you new cords. You're killing me.
But yeah, so it's it's long enough. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you know what? I did this whole sweater on tiny cords and it turned out fine. So you know what? It's fine.
Oh, I believe you. I watched you do that sweater too. It was also painful to watch.
But look at this fabric. I am so in love with this fabric. I kind of want the whole t-shirt to be this color, but I don't have that much. So I figure I will. So my plan is to split for the sleeves,
Okay.
and then do like just like a few more rows just to kind of stabilize it, and then put it on waste yarn and see where it actually hits, so I can determine where I want the transition to the next color to be, because I don't want the transition of the next color to happen in the middle of my boobs, because I feel like that would not be a flattering place for it to happen.
No.
No. So I'm going to make the transition happen below the boobs.
This makes more sense to me.
That's what I'm thinking. So, but since I'm doing that now, I'm wondering if because the idea with the yellow, which was supposed to be my third color, is that the yellow was supposed to hit at my waist. But if I'm already transitioning to the next color, I'm going to stand up so I can point. Ugh. So, if I'm transitioning to color B here, and my waist is... I guess that works, because then all this would be color B. Okay, let's get colors here. We got color A. Don't stick it in the donut. I almost stuck that yarn in the donut. Okay, so we got color A up here, and it's coming down to here, and then color B, and then color C is supposed to hit right around there.
Yeah, that'll work.
I think I need to use less of color B, though.
You might end up using a bit less once you put it on and measure where you are when you transition into B. That'll tell you, that'll give you an inch measurement, and it'll also tell you how far your B should go before you start transitioning into your yellow.
And then, I can just kind of go as long as I want with D.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. It's roughly where those colors should hit.
Okay.
Oh, don't drop the yarn in the donut. Really don't drop the yarn in the donut. That would make me so sad.
Eat the donut.
I should eat the donut. I'm talking right now. Can't eat the donut.
Uh-huh.
Anyway. So this color is called... What is this color called? What is the pretty purple color called? Gravity. It was Gravity by RoboSheep. Gravity from RoboSheep. I remember.
I remember one of them is Feisty Fibers and one of them is yellow, and it's not the same. That's all I remember.
Feisty Fibers was Sexy Nerd, and that is the color D. That's the greenish one at the bottom.
Just because I really like their logo. That's why I remember it.
Let's see. Jen was saying, I put 12 rows of ribbing on all my socks. That's a very specific number. I have never counted rows of ribbing on my socks.
I've never counted rows. I've always gone to inch or centimeter measurements. Centimeters are more accurate, but most patterns I get are American, so they're inches, right? So I've always gone to inch measurements.
Fiber Floozy says, I'm working on a crochet shawl, making it up as I go.
Those are always fun.
I've never done that, but it does sound like fun.
So much fun.
Just kind of make it up as you go. Should try that sometime.
Wing it!
Sherry says, I like working on short cords, less adjusting of stitches. And also, you almost don't need 4 colors. Yes, this is my wondering now, if I actually need 4 colors, but I don't think I have enough of the purple to make the yellow hit where I want.
You'll know soon enough.
Yeah. I'll know in about 4 more rows.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah. And the pattern's really nice because it gives rough estimates of what weight of yarn you need to have left in order to do the full fade into the next color.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. So it's super, super duper handy because she's like roughly the same size as me. And so, like, for my sample in these pictures that you're looking at, I'm like, yes, you're the same size as me. I'm making that size. You need about like 5 to 7 grams of your color left to do the fade into the next color. I'm like, okay, sweet.
So it was like me with the 8-bit sweater when I realized when they started talking about adding additional length, the sample that they chose was the additional length I needed to add.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I don't have to do the math. Yay! Somebody did it for me.
It's nice. That is my podcast anniversary knit along.
Almost tell I'm ribbing at this point. I think I've gone around like twice, 3 times. I don't know. I can't really.
I just want to knit with the very pretty purple yarn. I'm going to be knitting on that right now, but I can't because I have to count and put stitches off and put stitches on.
Finish your flippin' sleeve, lady.
I want to finish my sleeve. I want to knit with the pretty purple.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm going to sit here and eat my donut. You can talk about your thing.
We're talking about the MCAL, so...
I'm going to mute myself because guaranteed I'm going to get donut on this microphone.
Mic off.
So classy. How do you even? We're going to watch Diana eat her donut. Stare. Guys, we're going to talk about the Cozy Up Knits MCAL. I can't see chat, so if something interesting happens, Diana will have to unmute her microphone and let me know what's going on. So, I am always behind Diana, and I'm comfortable with that. Clue 4 just came out. I've not started. It came out on Friday. It's Sunday. I've still got time. It's a very quick, easy clue, but I did finish clue 3. So if you do not wish to be spoiled by last week's clue, don't watch my shawl. This is your warning, guys, because that is how it is. I've got 2 skeins of gray and a skein of purple going on. No mohair, entirely fingering, because if I was to knit DK on a 4.5mm needleless shawl would stand up on its own. So using fingering weight, I went through clue 1 in a gray, solid gray from Cascade Yarns, Cascade Heritage, in a not super well done feather and fan, but well enough that I'm happy with it. And then we moved into some nice little short row striping, which my purple, which I'm told some people see as taupey kind of brown purple, which that's fair. That's my mohair replacement because I don't mohair anything. And then we moved into this little knot stitch thingy, and I switched out my skeins and used my other gray skein that I had because it has a slight blue speckling in it, which I really liked, and I wanted to have for this stockinette knot section. These knots are so freaking cute. I loved making these knots. And then we went in, I'm gonna flip the shawl over now, and we did the last section, buttons in that stockinette section. And then we did this little knot thing. And for me, because it's lace, it's not lace weight or mohair. So like, I'm gonna have to block this bad boy out to get that stitch to open up well. Because it cinches up it's quite closed on its own. So I'm going to probably be aggressively blocking this little section in here. So I did get it done, which is great. There's a lot of stitches on the needles at this point, and I have a 40-inch cord. So we're not super bunched up, but we're slowly making our way. So clue 4 should go pretty quickly, mostly because I've read it and it's not overly complicated. It's just you're striping and you're working in garter. It's fine. So no problem. What I need to decide is once clue 5 comes out, whether or not I'm going to add an extra section to use up more yarn or not. And I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to do clue 4, see what clue 5 is, which might just be like binding off and finishing. And if that's the case, I might end up adding a Jocelyn's favorite section just to make the shawl deep enough and long enough for me at the fingering weight to be something I could use. So we will see how that goes. We will see how that goes. But I did get clue 4 done sometime Friday. Saturday. I was finishing off the last couple garter rows on Saturday when we did our knit club, so I was a couple days behind, but so long as I'm done clue 3. As long as I'm done clue 4 before Friday morning or Thursday night, I'll be quite happy. And then I can make the decision on what I want to do for the last week. Will I enter it for the draw? I don't know. Like, I'll mean to, but I might not remember to. I do look forward to being able to put photos of this up on Instagram, which I'm not done yet because I don't want to spoil anybody who might not want to see the shawl. So not everybody wants to have spoils. Some people are passing by this section right now as I speak. So that's where it sits. I have been sucking up my yarn. Like, this is all I've got left of my bow replacement. So, but I do have a lot of the grays left, which is fine by me because, again, it's 2 skeins of fingering gray I pulled out. So I need to, if I do another section, it'll be in a gray. So I'm going to flip back to this solid Cascade gray for this stripy section, and we'll see what section 5 is. Because if I need to add before I bind off, I'll do a little purple section and then do another gray section and then bind off. I'll make that decision when we get there. What is it? We'll cross that. We'll talk about that bridge when we get there. Cross that bridge when we get there. Where are my hair elastics? I'm warm.
Let's see. Comments about donuts. Yes, it's a fancy donut. I love my donut. It's a great donut.
Donuts. Oh, I do have hair elastic. Good.
Rita's joined us.
Oh, hey.
Fabulous says beautiful textures.
I really like the clues that they did, and I really like the stitches that they chose. I'm quite happy with their MCAL this year. I just don't know if it'll be big enough for me.
Fair.
We'll find out, guys. Do I cheat? Oh, I cheat. Like when that clue video comes out, I don't watch it for the tips and tricks because I can't see what they're doing. But I do watch the intro and I do watch the end where they show off the finishes. And then I'm going to do the same for clue 5 when they show off like what the finish shawl should look like to decide whether or not I need to make mine bigger. But you know what? I don't feel bad about it because the girls are always saying hack their patterns. So it'll just be me hacking their pattern.
Yeah, well, the beauty of making your own stuff is you can make it however the heck you want it.
Pretty much. Pretty dang much. So.
And I definitely did put a picture of my shawl on Instagram, but I made sure that like I made the most of it really, really blurry so all you can really see are colors. So I feel like that's okay.
Yeah. Couldn't help yourself, could you?
No, I couldn't. The colors were too pretty.
Stern finger shake. Stern finger shake. Stern.
Well, you know what? The clues have been out for a while, so it's
fine.
Honestly, like, mine looks totally different from yours, looks totally different from everybody else's, so, like, it's still a mystery.
Oh, I ordered a Five Guys burger and fries last night.
Oh, worth it?
So worth it. I haven't ordered Five Guys in ages. God, I love their French fries. Don't order from them if you're allergic to peanuts because they buy in peanut oil. But it's like the only thing I'm allergic to at Five Guys is the buns.
That's not bad.
I can eat everything else there. There are no restaurants like that. There are no fast food places like that. I've got 1 or 2 options, man. We're in like gravy mode, like it's beautiful. But yeah, nope. Five Guys. So long as I don't get the buns, I'm fine. So I get a lettuce wrap burger, which my father finds ridiculous. Like, I was there, we ordered, and he's like, You want bunless? I'm like, I'm allergic to the buns. He looked at me. I'm like, they wrap it in lettuce. It's daft, but it doesn't make me sick, so I don't care. You want me to order my burger in a bowl? That's my other option, Dad. He's like, no. But he couldn't watch me eat my lettuce wrapped burger.
What's wrong with a lettuce wrapped burger?
When it's a bacon cheeseburger with extra grilled mushrooms and onions, it's a bit of a hot mess, is what it is. But it's tasty.
Fair.
Sometimes if I'm really hungry, there's an extra patty in there.
Fair.
Too big for my mouth at that point.
Miranda is asking, what's in the buns that you are allergic to?
Corn.
Probably starch, corn syrup, corn something. Corn something.
Corn starch, cornmeal, corn or dextrose, which is a sugar additive that sometimes is used in enriched flours as your sugar source for your yeast, which is corn sugar. It's everywhere. Golden syrup, corn. Modified fructose, glucose, corn. Unidentified vegetable oil, corn. It's corn. It's all corn.
Mm-hmm.
All corn. If it comes in a box or a can, it's got corn. Like there is
probably got corn.
One type of house brand buns I can eat. If I want to have flat bread, like flour tortillas, I have to find Flat Out. I think it's called Flat Out. They don't have corn in them. Otherwise, the rest do. Most breads I can't eat. Most ryes I can't eat because rye bread, sourdough breads put cornstarch on the bottom of the bread before it is baked. It's bagels have corn. It's
basically, if it's made in North America, it probably has corn.
I make a lot of stuff from scratch and from home for a reason. The Co-op bakery has been a godsend. It's one of the reasons why I heavily advocate for them, is because I can have their brownies. I can eat their banana bread. I can have their cakes so long as there isn't marshmallow in the cake, because it doesn't have corn. Or I can find one that doesn't have corn, which never happens. Never. I usually just deal with the fact that eating desserts and stuff upsets my system unless I've made it by myself. Teas have corn. Medications have corn.
I'll just be over here with my stupendously weird cycling allergy that I am not allergic to at the moment. It's not even an allergy, it's an intolerance.
Canned baked beans have corn. Canned stews have corn. It's good. It's all corn. all corn. I know, because I gotta make baked beans for myself for the week, so I gotta pull out my pressure cooker and make some beans. That's right, I have to make my beans from scratch, people. It's annoying. Can't recommend a severe food allergy. Some types of coffee, I've got corn.
Shall I talk about my mystery knit along?
It's way more interesting than my corn food allergy, at least to me, anyway.
Sherry says, apples, right? Yes, I am periodically allergic or not allergic to apples. I'm currently in a not allergic period because, it's not even an allergy, it's just an intolerance. They just make me really, really unhappy for a while. But they won't kill me. But yeah, I just 7-ish year cycles where I'm like, apples try to kill me. Apples are fine. And I'm in an apples are fine period right now, so yay. I don't know. It's so freaking weird. It's so weird. I know it's weird. Apples is weird enough, but the fact that it cycles in and out is even weirder.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Anyway.
It won't kill you, and it's not as debilitating as mine.
This is true. This is very true. Okay. So I'm going to talk about my mystery knit along. So again, if you don't want to see stuff, then look away.
I mean, I'm going to glance down periodically, but I'm ribbing.
So, big surprise. Pinks and purples and grays. Purple and gray. Lots of purple and gray.
We're making purple gray shawls is what we're making.
That's gosh. Okay, so I am on clue 4? 5? What's the most recent clue? 4? 4. I'm on clue 4. I'm not done clue 4. I'm about halfway through clue 4.
Okay.
But I am... I quite
enjoy
They're
long rows.
They're so long. I quite enjoy how the clue knots,
Clue 3.
clue 3, they came out really nice. I'm trying to see the screen and hold this up so you can see the texture. It's very difficult. But yeah, this part's going to require quite a lot of blocking to get that to open up properly. And I'm just still so thrilled with how the gradient is playing with the solid gray, and it's just so pretty. Like that short row section for 2 with the not a bobble and the gradient is just so fun. And so I'm having a great deal of fun with the short row garter stripes and the gradient.
Yep.
I'm just coming to the end of my boomeranged chunk of purple, so I'll start going back through the pinks and magentas and back to white eventually. So, yeah. I do really need longer cords.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's fine. It's totally fine. And the edging, I'm doing the ridiculous cabled edging just for like a fun challenge. Oh, come on, computer. Focus. There we go. So, the cabled edging is interesting and different, but I'm not totally sold on it, and I'm not sure it's worth it.
Okay. I did garter edge because I looked at it and my brain went, no, you're not in the mood for cables. Don't do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like, it's pretty, but I'm not sure it's worth the effort. I'm not sold on it. I'm glad I tried it, but I'm not sold on it as like a do this on all your shawls kind of a deal.
Okay, so it's not like my love of I-cord edging on shawls.
No, but I-cord is lovely. Though I learned from my omeiti that an I-cord cast-on takes for freaking ever. Like hours.
Yes, it does.
Like, I was like...
Having said that, I like how your omeiti cast-on edge is, so when I make mine, it's also going to be an I-cord cast-on edge, because it's pretty.
Yeah, I don't know why the pattern didn't say to just do an I-cord cast-on. It's like cast on some stitches and then later pick them up and do an I-cord bind-off, and I'm like, but why? Why not just do an I-cord cast-on?
It takes just as long to do a bind-off in an I-cord as it does to do a cast-on in an I-cord. It's not any different time frames.
I don't know. So, minor pattern hack to that one, but yeah. So I'm enjoying this one. It's gonna be. I assume it's a semicircular shape. I'm just kind of assuming.
Well, it's not an egg shape. They told us that already.
Given how the short row crescents are going, similar to the that Stephen West one that I did, and it's all green and gold. Exploration Station. That one's a half circle, right?
Yeah, that's a half circle.
That's a half circle. So I figure it's probably that shape.
It's this shape.
Yes, that one.
This one.
Gosh, that's so fun. I really love the gradient in the feather and fan. Like, I want more gradient yarn. I need a lot more gradient yarn in my life because it is so fun.
I love gradient yarn. You're preaching to the choir. I have tons of it. I love it.
So fun. I am... Like, the textures and the patterns is fun, but, like, this yarn is giving me life. So fun. Okay. I'm done admiring my shawl in the camera now.
Are you? Are you sure?
No.
You tell people what yarn it is.
I was unpacking and I found my yarn bowl.
Hey,
so I can actually use that now because I've got space and I found it. Ta-da! It's been packed for like a year. Over a year. But yeah, I have this. It was made by somebody in Manitoba, and her workshop is like out near Falcon Lake or something. I have her card somewhere probably, and I don't remember because my mom got me this like ages ago.
A professional podcast, we are not.
Yeah, well, I don't know where it's in a box somewhere, but anyway, it's really pretty.
Here's mine. It's from Knit Picks. It was a gift. It's wood, and I like it. And yes, I tried to talk my dad into buying me bigger wood bowls. He doesn't go for it, though. I don't know why the carpenter doesn't want to spend $80 on a large wood yarn bowl for his daughter. No idea why he finds that offensive.
this have her name on it on the bottom? It has something very faintly written on the bottom, but I don't. Lake? Oh, what does this say? PR... Tail? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Pretty yarn boat. I found it. I'm happy.
I'm excited to pick up my Half Moon Tea again this week.
I'm so excited about all of the things that I'm working on, and I don't want to move boxes. I just want to sit in it.
You need to finish your work so that you can sit in it.
I know, and I don't want to.
Mr. Ben and I are going to play some Divinity tonight, so we'll see how often he gets me killed. And curiosity. It's almost right up there with your thieving. Just gets me into trouble, pair of you.
You know what? I was just clicking on things to see what they did. I didn't know that I was stealing the bucket. I didn't realize I was going to anger the whole freaking town, including the dudes, like, oxen? Whatever.
Yeah,
I upset the animals in the town by stealing a bucket. I'm sorry. I was just clicking on things.
Yeah, went through, played with Mr. B. We saved the boat. We didn't steal stuff we weren't supposed to, and now we've collected a new companion.
You're doing much better.
Supposed to save the world now?
Oh.
And we've time traveled to the edge of the universe and stared at a dragon.
Okay.
But if we go into the zombie thing in the graveyard, we die. We're not leveled up enough for that section.
I'd like to play more of that game, but boxes first, I guess.
Boxes first. Get your packing done.
Okay.
Get your moving done.
And then the cleaning.
Yep. There's two of you. Sure you both can figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't wanna. I wanna sit here and eat my donut and knit on my sweater. Or my t-shirt. Or my shawl.
I'm excited. I'm hoping to bind off these socks today.
Fiberfloozy Crafts was asking... Oh, Diablo. The game we were talking about was...
Divinity Original Sin 2, which is a D&D adventure style game.
Yeah. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Though I've put
the 2 hours that we played.
I put Overcooked 2 on my to-buy list this year.
Oh, that is a fun one. I have that one on my Switch.
I want to play that. So that's going to happen.
Is that everything that we're knitting? Did we finally get through that section?
Yeah, we're through.
Okay, cool.
That's what we've been working on.
I think that means wool gathering?
It generally means wool gathering, yes. Are we all caught up on chat?
Fiberfloozy. Saying, I think there is a graveyard scene in Diablo.
I believe so, yeah.
Probably. I have Diablo. I have not really played it.
It's been a while since I've listened to my sister talk about it.
It's just like a lot of clicking on things until the gold comes out.
They've been playing Borderlands 3 a lot right now.
Okay. Played Borderlands 2 a tiny bit with somebody.
Borderlands 2
was okay.
They enjoy playing it, so.
Okay, so wool gathering. I should probably play the gallery that you made.
I did make a gallery.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how much I dislike pulling in your own photos down from Instagram.
It is a pain.
Pain.
Big pain.
But we had 840 some odd posts for me to pick from. We post a lot of photos.
Sherry wants to know where I'm at in Critical Role, and I do believe I'm on episode 78.
Keep
they
going.
Are researching stuff at the Cobalt Soul in Zadash. It's the research episode. Like, it's just...
They're such bookworms.
Roll to go to the library.
Yep. It's really cute.
It is. Like, guidance! Like, bless! And, like, this is the most guided, blessed, ability-enhanced research crew in the world.
Yep, it really is.
It's cute.
Uh,
Okay, so let's roll this. Let's roll the tape of... roll the tape.
roll
It's not a
tape.
Roll the tape. Let's roll the tape of the gallery that you made.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's 200 episodes, and we've done stuff, and it's cute, and I like it. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now.
It's cute and you like it?
Okay, roll the tape. back.
We're back now?
I was totally paying attention and not rapidly stuffing a donut in my face and getting raspberry cream all over my face. It's fine. It's not what happened at all.
No, not. You
Asta
were eating
says,
donut.
Asta says hi from the bus home, and she says this is such a cute video.
Thank you. And also, how was the visit? Was it good? Do we have a good time? Did we get to see people? Well, a person, but you know what I mean.
Seeing real people? What's that like?
You have a husband. Don't even start with me.
Fair. I mean, you have housemates. Kind of.
One of my housemates works in groceries. They do their very best to never be downstairs, so as to expose me as absolutely as little as possible.
Okay, fair.
Though I was laughing, my sister's best friend has an autoimmune disease, so her Christmas present and now her housewarming present are both sitting here. I'm like, could you please package that up and wrap it and wipe it down and send it to her? She's like, yeah, I should do that, hey? Jeez. Yeah. Jeez, kid.
I don't have like raspberry cream on my face, do I? I probably still do. It's fine. I'm like a small child over here. Oh, excuse me. So much dust everywhere.
Got finished cleaning. And you gotta move all your books so you can plug your sewing machine in.
I know, I'm sad. It makes me sad. I'm gonna not pay attention to that right now.
Do an extension cord. You were gonna be so grateful that you just did an extension cord.
I know. Now we have one in a box somewhere.
I'm a carpenter's daughter. I got like half a dozen floating around. What I'm hoping to do this week is, now that I've got all the stuff out of my storage space, pulled out, sorted, purged it down, and I'm going to put it back on the shelves and where it needs to go, is that I'm going to move my bookcases. I still have cases of books behind where the computer is, and move the computer towards where the couch is. So I'm flipping my dining room space and my computer space.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a big project because it involves a lot of moving around and doing stuff.
Yeah.
My other hope had been, or thought had been, to get rid of my dining space entirely because I don't use it.
Sorry, that was not a shocking thing. I just choked on my coffee.
I'm one human. I don't generally eat at my dining room table.
Fair.
I eat at the bar stools. The Passover, or I'm sitting and watching something in front of my computer, or I'm doing, or I'm working on something, so I'm in front of my computer half the time when I eat anyway. So I'm figuring about that, or I take it away and pull out my circular cutting table, fabric storage table, and turn that back into my dining room table, and pull my sewing stuff out of the sewing room and make like an office craft space in this big space here, and then turn the sewing room into straight up storage.
Okay.
Of the things that I don't use. Like, I don't use some of the stuff I used to have in my apartment, but I don't want to necessarily get rid of it. Like, I don't want to get rid of the land phone that doesn't go anywhere, because when I go back into apartment living, that'll be the phone that's connected to the wall so I can buzz people in to my apartment.
You have a cell phone though.
Yes, I do have a cell phone, but I also occasionally have, like guests and company over. And do things, and it would be nice for them not to be worried about picking up my own cell phone. Like, if my parents come to visit and my mom has to buzz my dad in, she can just pick up the phone and buzz my dad in.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I just like hand over my cell phone to random people. Like, here, it's fine. Whatever.
It's a weird thing. It's a lot of personal stuff's on your cell phone. Not everyone's comfortable doing that. Gray pickup corded phone, whatever.
Fair enough.
It also means if my cell phone is busy doing something else, like talking to my mom, and I'm letting you in, I don't have to try to do two things at once. I can just pick up the gray phone, go, hey, I let you in, and then pick my phone call back up with my mom.
Fair.
Some of my kitchen stuff that I don't currently use because I don't have a full kitchen. There's just some stuff you don't use when I'm in this sort of a space. So I figured that's what I might do, and then have all of my living stuff in my living space and all of my storage stuff properly squared away in a storage room.
Makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking. At least that's what I'm hoping, anyway. But it's not a small project because I, of course, am
Nope.
like, I need to get rid of stuff I don't use anymore, which is the entire complete collection of 4th Ed Dungeons and Dragons books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big job.
Big job.
Yeah. Chat liked the video. They said they think it's cute and fun.
I hope so. I didn't want too sappy because that's not me.
Also said her visit was good. Or great, sorry. And she also says, happy 200 episode.
Yeah, 200. Woo!
We're podcasters? I don't know.
We're YouTubers.
We're YouTubers, yeah.
But, like this morning I was messaging you on the mods. You're like, I'm off to get donuts. I'm like, I'm learning about male genitalia in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, I was like reading that and I'm like, this could be an autocorrect, but I know you and it's probably not. It probably is exactly what you said.
Exactly what I said it was. And I got a book recommendation to read about it later. And you bet I put it on my Goodreads list. Because it's fascinating. Nature's weird.
Yes. Oh my god, ducks are the weirdest reproductive. There's corkscrews involved.
There's one that opens up into a feather-like gossamer shape. We're talking about penises, people. Animal penises. Yep. This is on the Sunday edition. Like, this is from CBC. CBC was doing this Sunday morning.
It's educational.
It is educational.
It's very educational. Things you didn't know you needed to know.
That human men are just
downright boring in comparison.
We don't even really rank top in the primate department for interesting members. And everybody loses out to the blue whale.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Because theirs are taller than humans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, really? That makes sense. They're massive. Massive.
I think relative to the rest of their body, grasshoppers have the biggest genitalia.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's grasshoppers. But if you're a bed bug, it's like being poked with a hypodermic needle. Because that's what they do. Look, that's gotta be awkward.
So weird. Animals are so weird.
I had a delightful morning this morning learning about things I didn't even know I wanted to learn about. So much so that I put a book on my to-read list. That was my Sunday morning, guys. How was yours?
Fiber Floozy Craft says, my mom used to say she and dad had watched the Animal Planet and saw every animal do it.
Well, not every animal, but you see a lot do it on that show.
Aaron says, it's barnacles. They need to procreate while being stuck to stuff.
Yeah, like, what? Isn't that just crazy when you think about it? Think about it. Animals are just far cooler than we are.
We're like downright boring.
We are downright dull. We are basic vanilla here, people. Basic vanilla. Though the author does address the lack of study for female reproductive organs in the animal kingdom and how that gap's starting to be closed now. So apparently animals are weird on both sides of the gender spectrum.
Makes sense.
What do I know?
Well, I hope Chris can hear that. Yes, he can. Okay, good.
Is he going to go answer the door?
Yeah, this is the first time somebody's rung the bell since we lived here. This is exciting.
It's probably an Amazon package for him.
It probably is, yeah. Honestly, it's probably a webcam.
Yeah, it's probably a package for him. I need a new webcam. Let me know how his webcam works and if it's any good.
Will do.
Because I need to replace the camera that I'm currently using with a better one.
Wildflower gotta run. Congratulations on 200 episodes. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Fiber Floozy Crafts. I saw way too many grasshoppers doing it. My yard last spring and summer, there was a carpet of them.
Oh
Ugh.
gosh. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
I have experienced that. It was great. My parents' backyard used to back onto a farmer's field, and so when they plowed towards our backyard, there's just this wave of grasshoppers that would then take up residence in our yard for a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
It's great.
No, thank you.
I almost ate one once when I was a child. I'm still kind of afraid of them.
Did I ever tell you about Chewy,
No?
my mom's dog, when we moved down south? He developed a taste for crickets out at my grandparents' farm. Northern dog, guys. Like he was born in the Arctic Circle. He didn't know what trees were used for the first year or two we lived down south. Couldn't figure out why other dogs peed on trees. It weirded him out. He refused to pee on a tree for the longest time. But he liked eating the grasshoppers. We would take him out and let him run loose at the farm, right? Literally a farm in the middle of nowhere between Brandon and Minnedosa.
Yeah, whole lot of not much out there.
Not much out there. One day we were watching him chase grasshoppers, and I hear my mom go, "I don't think that's a grasshopper. I think that's a frog." I've never seen a dog more disgusted about something in its mouth in my life.
Oh.
Goes for it, catches the frog, but it doesn't go crunch. It goes squish. You just
Ooh.
watch him go, yeah.
Oh, poor puppy.
He just looks at my dad like, what did I eat? My dad's like, oh, buddy.
Oh, poor froggy.
The frog, I don't know what happened to the frog. I don't know if it was like traumatized or whatever, but oh, poor puppy. He did eat grasshoppers after that. That's trauma. Because he was just never sure whether or not that was going to work well for him or not. Oh, it's just, what is in my mouth? This does not taste good. I don't approve. Oh, poor puppy. That puppy lasted a really long time. I think we put him down at 18 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
He lived all the way when we moved down south. We moved back to Brandon. And then he made it here to Winnipeg.
That's a lot of traveling.
The dog was well traveled and old. Not that he knew he was old to the last year or so. He thought he was a puppy the whole way through.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. But yeah, that's my frog cricket story.
Pasta says, I have eaten small grasshoppers. I hope that was on purpose and not accidentally. I hear people.
Oh, you get them candied. Like you can just have them as a snack.
Ugh, nope, can't.
And that.
I can't.
I don't like the spicy barbecue flavored ones. My mom buys them for my brother-in-law. He doesn't like stuff. He's not into stuff. Someone buys him weird things to try to eat. So she bought him candy coated crickets. I eat the chocolate covered ones. Those are fine. Those are tasty.
I want to try like insect flour, but I can't handle the psychologicalness of trying to eat a bug. Gotta grind it into flour for me first.
The flour would be fun to use.
Yeah, I'd be so down to bake some cookies out of insect flour. I just can't handle eating a. Yeah.
Because that would also be super dense, protein rich for you.
Yeah.
That makes total sense to me. But yeah, I eat tofu raw, shaved is a replacement for egg salad sandwiches.
Oh, that would work pretty well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I need more liquid smoke is what I need. What about everything else?
I just don't like egg salad to begin with, so.
I love egg salad. Eggs don't love me. So the medium or like the extra firm tofu is too firm, but like the firm tofu or the soft, not soft, but the firm tofu, you crumble that up, and then I use dry mustard, smoked paprika, liquid smoke, and turmeric to help get the right color. And then I don't use mayo because eggs.
Right.
So I use vegan mayo, or I just use another binding agent, whatever binding agent I want to use. Sometimes it's like soft tofu, because that functions like a mayo binding replacement. And then I mix that all up, and then I add the sliced celery, radishes, and then I put it on bread like a egg salad sandwich with lettuce, alfalfa sprouts, no tomatoes, because I'm not into tomatoes or pickles on my sandwiches. You can, I'm not into it. No.
Oh, also clarified, grilled and salted, and the legs got stuck in the teeth. Ooh, that does not Nah, 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 nah. Okay, I'm gonna read
Figure
other comments now.
if I can eat whale blubber and rabbit
I can't
and
eat
pig,
things that still look like they could move. I can't do it.
I can handle a bug. Not all bugs, but I can handle crickets and stuff. That's fine.
Miranda says, I have male birds and they get frisky with objects in their cage. Oh my.
You're
And
like,
birds
buddy,
be
get bored.
noisy.
Birds be noisy. Yes, they are.
Didn't realize.
Not quiet.
Once upon a time, I used to babysit a kid fairly frequently who had birds.
Mhm.
Darn things were so noisy, and that just killed any desire I ever had to have a bird. Um,
Noisy. So
but
noisy.
now I'm wondering if some of those noises were, hmm, not just birds being irritating. uh, sorry, catching up on things. Run the ad with her. I think somebody ate something undesirable.
Yeah, everybody's done something at one point where they've been like, what did I do to myself?
Frogs apparently excrete bitter flavored stuff. So
Never had the urge to eat frogs, so
no, I mean like frog legs in butter are apparently good.
I'm kind of like, eh.
I imagine it would be sort of like really buttery chicken wing, but like really skinny buttery chicken wing.
Maybe.
That's what I imagine it tastes like anyway.
But I mean, I don't even really like chicken wings, so
They're more of a sauce conveyance.
yeah. And it's most of the sauces I'm like, eh, or I can't have.
Fair. I think we were supposed to be talking about wool gathering at some point.
Yep, that's the section we're in.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Guys, this is all the stuff I cut out.
um yeah, so regular things. Patreon is a thing if you want to financially support us. Links in the description. I gotta write out an ad spot for this because, like, it's a thing. You can do the
200
thing.
episodes later, you still can't ad lib
No.
with a darn.
No, I can't.
That was so awkward. Shit. Oh gosh.
Anyway, it's a thing you can do. And if you don't want to do that thing, then another thing you can do is smash that like. Hit subscribe. Something about the bell to get notified. I don't know why you'd want to do that, honestly, but you can do that if you want.
Would you like me to run with it?
Sure.
Patreon is a great platform that allows people to support content creators that they enjoy and like. If you are capable of doing so, we super appreciate the monetary assistance. It helps us do things like upgrade tech. Hopefully, one day get Diana a microphone that's not corded or has a microphone in front of her mouth, because as much as I love watching her bash her face with her own microphone, we should probably deal with that at some point. If you are unable to, we super understand. Hitting the like button, watching the videos, subscribing, getting notifications if it's something that you enjoy doing also super helps us out with the algorithm a lot as well. And we appreciate all the supports. The Patreon community members do get benefits and bonuses. Most of them revolve around us just throwing additional content at their heads because we can. A lot of it is mostly blog posts, really, if we think about it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the weekly experimental Tuesdays that you and I trade off on. They
You
get
and I
early.
turn this Tuesday?
It's your Tuesday this Tuesday, I believe.
It's my Tuesday, okay.
I think. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check the postings.
Pretty sure I didn't do it last week, so it must be my week. It's somebody's week.
That works. I still have coconut bar, so it must be your week this week.
Okay.
We also tend to throw bonus videos up there early first for 24-48 hours early access before we open it up to regular members. And there's some extra additional stuff and content that we're working on creating that is specifically for Patreon members. So if you're able to join us, great. If you aren't, you know what? Chat with us in the YouTube comments. Just as good. just as good, and we love all of the feedback. So it's how that works. We're also currently running a podcast anniversary, which is something that we do every year between January and March to celebrate our upcoming birthdays slash the anniversary of the podcast starting in March. 4 years ago now. So right now we are currently running a 3-month along because neither me and Diana like anything stressful when it comes to knit-alongs when we can swing it. Rules are pretty simple and straightforward. Must be an adult-sized something. Must use at least 2 skeins of yarn because fairness, and must be a new to you designer. Doesn't matter if the designer's new, you just have to be new to the designer. Bonus points if it's BIPOC or male, because really, we got to put our money where our mouth is. That's just how it works, folks. You have until the end of the March to get them in. We have a Ravelry thread, which the amazing Godlike Asa helps monitor for us, as well as a Facebook group that you can join, because guys, of course we're on Facebook. The answer to the question for Facebook is don't forget to knit. There you go. Feel free to join us in on there if Ravelry is not your thing. Ravelry is not our thing for the most part, but it is a good way for us to track entries and for you guys to talk in amongst the community members and work towards things. Side note for knit-alongs, because we don't do prize giveaways and physical content, if you are not participating in Facebook threads or in Ravelry threads for these things, I can't randomly just gift you a pattern, which is what I do. I sneak in and I randomly gift patterns. So there's your heads up, people. That's the prizing that we do these days. I go in and I look at your wish list and I go, that's pretty, and I buy it for you. That's what I do. And then you're like, Jocelyn gave you a present. Random Christmas, yay!
So we had
I'm loving it.
Terrible time trying to actually mail stuff anywhere.
Oh my god, it was the worst.
Nightmare.
But getting on gifting patterns, beautiful. So easy. We might do e-gift cards. Again, something that I can just drop in your mailbox and it's there for you. It's in your email. No muss, no fuss. We don't have to worry about international shipping or nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. It just works so easy, and it's much preferred for both of us since we both run full-time lives in addition to this. We didn't think it would be this big of a thing when we started. We didn't think anybody but our mothers would watch us.
Man, I didn't even think my mother would watch us. I figured we'd do it for like, at best, 6 weeks, and like, I knew going in with the technical setup that we have that we'd only be able to store like 3-ish years of, like 3, maybe 4 years of podcasts before we'd like run out of space. And I'm like, we're never gonna get there, it's fine. So we're hitting the technical limitations and I gotta figure out a solution now.
Hey, listen, I just do the video editing for you because that's a huge chunk of time.
Yeah.
You're the tech expert. You went to school for this sort of stuff. Literally, it's software. You went to school for this sort of stuff.
Software is a very big category. I work in e-commerce. Podcasting is a side gig. I have learned so much about like social media and marketing and podcasting just off on the side.
They're like, oh, you have a history degree, so you'll know this thing. I'm like, do you understand how big history is? Like,
it's like, you have a computer science degree. Can you fix my printer? Like, no.
It's not. That's not how that works. But I appreciate that you do the technical stuff because you get it faster than I do. So thank you. We did start out as audio. We are now video format as well as audio format, even though we tend to forget and not use our words correctly now that we're on video format, which is entirely our fault for not being better at that. Something we need to work on.
Remember when we were audio only and we still couldn't use our words?
We still couldn't use it. Still like the worst at describing things. Like you would say something and I'd be looking at you over top of the recording like, hello, they don't know what color yarn that is, dude. They can't see it.
I'm using this yarn and that yarn. Like, what color is this yarn and that yarn?
Oh, if you're brave, feel free to look back at our older podcasts. I'm not. I won't do it. I won't do it. It'll be painful.
I think one of the other technical limitations that I've not been dealing with is that audio episodes are only available back to like 150. Which is fine because most of them are like from 53, I think, onward, or just on YouTube because that's when we went to video.
Yeah.
But I only ever put up 1 and 2 of the audio only as on YouTube. So if you want to listen to 3 through like 52, you can't yet. I got to work on that.
Diana.
I know. I know. I gotta find my hard drive with the old audio files and start doing that. It's packed in a box. One of these boxes. One of
Oh
those
my God.
boxes? One of the ones in there. I don't know. It's somewhere in this room.
It's fine. I'm just as bad with stuff, so it's all right. So it's a thing. Always, as always, a work in progress. So that is going on. We're at 4 years. Before we know it, we'll be at 5 years. Guys, I didn't have a cat. She wasn't married. Like, things have been a changing in our lives.
We still lived in the same city.
Yes. We dated brothers. Like, there's been some changes in our lives.
Oh, it's been a wild ride.
It has been. It's good. I'm excited. I'm comfortable, and I think I would miss it if we didn't record. So
I know,
I feel
right?
like we're gonna be doing this for a while. I'm still enjoying it, even when I rant at you about how much I hate video editing sometimes. Nobody loves everything. Nobody
No.
loves everything.
But
That is
like
not
the fact that we've done something for 4 years
a heck of an accomplishment.
blows my mind every time I realize I can say I'm a YouTuber. Like I meet somebody new and like, oh, on the side I do this thing, and like I guess I'm a
YouTuber.
YouTuber.
And one day we might make over 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
Woo! We're not for everybody. It's fine. I don't mind. What else we got going on? We have the Patreon e-knit in, which will happen the second last Saturday of February. I don't know what date that is.
I'm looking it up now because January's was yesterday, so February's will be the second last is the 20th of February.
There you go. Woo. Oh, we'll be so close to our birthdays at that point. Oh, crazy talk.
I'll have to get more donuts.
If you're new, me and Diana actually celebrate our birthdays back to back. Hers is on the 11th, mine is on the 10th.
And I think the first podcast went out on like the 21st or something.
Yeah. So like when I say it's a birthday month in March, I mean it's a birthday month in March. We're all in there all at the same time.
It's the birthday month.
Birthday month. So that's it really for wool gathering. That's all we've really got going on at the moment, just off the top of my head. In February, me and Louise from Fiber Friends, or Wildflower and Wool, are going to be having a sweater off. I need to get a hold of her to figure out what week she is taking off work, so I know what week that's happening. Because I don't know yet, guys. Got to figure that out.
Oh, Fiber Floozy says, printers are evil? Yes. Yes, they are.
They are.
Asa is home now and on the computer. Excellent.
Oh, good. I'm glad you made it home okay.
And Sherry says, my podcast has episode 1, Hello World.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It's hard. It's hard. Once you're into the group, it's fine, but getting there, oh man, daunting.
I think that's what we called our first one too, or what I called it anyway.
I would actually have to go look. I don't remember.
I think I did.
The very, very first photo on Instagram is me at the symphony. Crocheting. And then shortly after that, we have pictures of you at the cabin and your family. Not sure why those are in there, but they're there. Pictures of me post-surgery knitting in my hospital bed. That's right. I started a podcast and then I had a major abdominal surgery.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, poor Diana had to come to me for weeks. I was not mobile.
So as I recall, I think for a chunk of the early days of the podcast, I was not employed.
Yeah, you were between jobs, so we could record whenever. That was a change. That when you went back to work, because we used to just be able to do it in the middle of the weekday.
Yeah, I think I think that's why we did it on Tuesdays, because nobody had anything going on Tuesdays, and we just do it in the afternoon.
In the afternoons, and then your boyfriend at the time and my boyfriend at the time would come home from their respective works, or your husband would come home from his respective work, and his brother would stop by and we'd play video games or board games in the evening. And Experimental Tuesday started there because we started trying different dinners.
That was fun. That's how things started, but like that was actually in the vast history of the podcast, like a very short period of time. Like it was only like 2 or 3 months that we did that.
Yep. But the Experimental Tuesday stuck.
Yep.
Yep.
It's usually on Tuesday, like, oh, it's Tuesday, I should do something experimental.
These
Well,
things that
Sherry clarified. Hello World, she was talking about our podcast, is in fact called Hello World.
Is it? I don't know. Diana names these things.
I know.
We don't let me name things. It's a bad idea.
I think this one's called like Live AMA, and we've done like answered no questions. We just talk.
Nobody's really asked any questions to answer. I just sort of put it out there. See if apparently we talk enough about ourselves that nobody has any questions.
Everybody hanging out in chat does have like questions to ask. Like, go for it.
Yeah, we'll answer. Like, super important question. Yes, I've eaten a row of brownies.
I want another donut. They're downstairs.
Well, that's what you get for not bringing 2 donuts in there with you.
But they're giant donuts. 2 wouldn't fit on the plate.
Clearly, that is a problem with your plate circumference.
Clearly.
Donut, but that's it for wool gathering. That's all we've got.
We have very skinny cupboards in the kitchen here that was built in the 70s. And so, like, I have to use this. Well, I don't have to. But, like, our big dinner plates, you have to tilt them slightly to get them out of the cupboard. And that's the widest cupboard. It's like, oh, are things really that much bigger than they were, like... Wait, 70s, is that 50 years ago? Yeah, that's 50 years ago. I mean, it's late 70s, like 70s, 80s. But like 40...
Portion sizes have been dramatically increased.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I need to stop eating this brownie pan. I've eaten a whole row.
You're really making me want another donut. I'm gonna have to go have one.
Yeah, but I won't crash. Like you might. In a couple hours.
100% I will. That's fine.
I won't. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Which really just sort of leaves books if we don't have any questions floating around.
Yeah, books. I finished my book. The appendices. I finished the appendices of my book.
Excellent. I actually need to open up to see what books I was been working on and are now working on.
Also wants to know what we are knitting on. I got sticky, so I'm no longer knitting on my sweater design.
Ribbing on my socks.
As I say, I'm sticky, and then I touch my sweater.
Because I'd like to finish my ribbing on my socks and bind off my socks later this afternoon. Because I've got a Slice of Life anime that I'm watching, so I'm mid row on some sock ribbing.
Which anime?
Something Dandelion.
Okay, I don't know that
it's
one.
A new one, Castle something Dandelion. Anyway, it's about a family of 9 siblings who are royals who have special magical powers, and they're currently in a popularity contest to see who will take over for their dad, who is king. Who will be the heir?
That sounds delightful.
Oh yeah, it's Slice of Life, so it's just all super cheerful and heartwarming. It's exactly what I needed. So there's one season, there's like 12 episodes, and I'm like on episode 8 or something. So I'm making my way through quite fine.
Sherry says that she is reading Hero's Feast, which is a D&D cookbook, and I'm literally adding this to my Goodreads list right now because that sounds amazing. This is me adding it to my Goodreads list right now.
This is what happens for things, hey? All right. Well, I was reading through the Court of Thorn and Roses series, and I was on the Court of Wings and Ruin, right? Last week? I don't make show notes.
Some Wings and Rui? Mist and Fury? I don't remember. There was Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin, and I don't remember what order they were in.
That's okay. I've finished up the series, so the last of the book of the series is a little novella. So you have Court of Thorn and Roses, Court of Mist and Fury, Court of Wings and Ruin, which are the 3 primary ones. The 4th one's being released this year. And then book 3.5 is called A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is like a little snippet novella where you just get like their downtime sort of story going on. So that was really quick, like 272 pages, like super short. So I blew through that. And then I also made it through The Throne of Glass. These are all by Sarah J. Maas. I do enjoy her writing style, even though her use of the word instant drives me bonkers.
Miranda says that Miranda's also reading the Throne of Glass series.
Yeah, it's a really good series. I really enjoy the series. It's my second time from start to finish. So Throne of Glass is 400 and something, 406 pages, and I finished that, and then I started Crown of Midnight, which is book 2 in the Throne of Glass series, and I'll be done that, and possibly the third, maybe even the fourth book by the end of the week. When I get into really big knitting sprees, it's all audiobooks, so it does not take me long to get through books. But how do I have 700 books on my to read list again? Oh, gee. I did just put Fallacy Life Lessons from the Animal Planet by Emily, I want to say, oh, sorry, Life Lessons from the Animal Penis by Emily Willingham on my to read list, because that was what I was listening to this morning on CBC. And then, yes, the next Sarah J. Maas one comes out next month, middle of next month. It's A Court of Silver Flames. But I still have like a bunch of other ones, like No Rules Rules. I want to read The Vanishing Half, Love Lives Here. There's a lot. Old Man in the Sea. That's Ernest Hemingway. It's an older book. So I have a lot. I have a lot. And then there's one in a series that I was hoping would come out last year, but it did not. That's the Expanse series. That's supposed to come out early this year.
Yeah, that was supposed to come out in like December or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got bumped. So I got to go figure out when the new release date for it is, because when that comes out, I wanna read that immediately.
Yes.
And it looks like there might be a tome topple in February. So some of the bigger books I've just got sitting around will jump in there just because I've got them sitting around to read.
Let's see.
I got a cup in case I get bored of the 700 some odd options I have on my to read list. There's a cup of prompts.
Miranda was saying that the brand new book from Sarah J. Maas is great.
That'll be the Court of, the House of Earth and Blood.
She says, I'm on book 3. Don't know which one. But I'm getting recommendations left, right, and center for this one, so I'll probably have to read this one eventually.
She's a very good author. She writes a teenage protagonist that I don't want to throttle. And writes complicated, realistic relationships.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember like books with teenage protagonists. Like, probably haven't read one with a character that young since I was that age, and even then, I'm not sure that I did.
I'll send you some. There's some really good ones out there.
Miranda says House of Earth and Blood was great.
House of Earth and Blood is great. Sadly, they don't have a second one, which irritates me.
Also says that
my brother-in-law's alarm's going off. I'm hearing his cell phone vibrate upstairs. Yes, my ears are that good.
Microphone's not picking it up at all.
Yes, well, it's fine.
Also said, I'm reading a novel by a Swedish author. He is writing a semi-historic series about the last century.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
That would be very interesting.
I discovered that I have a book on my shelf that is written entirely in German.
Okay, I've never done that to myself.
I cannot read it. It's also written in like that gothic font that's just hard to read anyway.
Gross.
Also, it has the publication date of like 1890 something, which
you just buy it because you liked the font look of it?
No, I think somebody bought it for me. So there was a while where I was super into collecting antique books.
Yes.
And at some point, somebody was on a trip and brought it back for me. I think it might have been Mr. Diana. Okay. Anyways, this gorgeous book.
Which you can't read.
That I can't read. It's right there, actually. I'm going to grab it because it's just so darn pretty, and it made me think of it now.
And now we know why she has so much stuff. So much stuff. I feel like I need to send her some manga. Or
I like how what is manga? I found the interesting manga that you gave me last January. while I
I
was
would
unpacking.
just say it. I got you adult manga as a part of a gay gift for having to live alone while your husband had moved to Waterloo. I got you a self-romancing kit is what I got you.
Yes,
Yep.
I found the manga part of it.
Not for children's consumption, also not a
No. Oh.
it's in Japanese.
So this is the very pretty German book that I can't read that I wish I could read because it's like
Boy, the boys and the photos are pretty in that little comic book I gave you.
oh, this thing has
Pretty.
like 1884 it says in here, and I don't,
The book is beautiful.
I can't. I'm very, but like this font, like in addition to being written in German, like I can't read this font. So I don't know. I have a book I
It's
can't
a
ever
long
read, but it's very
time
pretty.
I've read illuminated manuscripts in Latin, so I'm figuring roughly the same. Roughly.
Bothers me I can't read that book. It's like the prettiest book I own and I can't read it. Anyway.
You should translate the title and try to find an English version of it, maybe.
Oh, and I was trying to read the manga that, yeah, I was trying to use Google Translate on it, and it's like, it was failing miserably, but I was getting the gist of it, and it somehow made it even funnier, because, like, the imagery and the exact words that it was choosing were not lining up. Like, I think this is what's happening, and I think this is, like, a flirty thing they're saying, but it's not coming out right.
Sometimes things get lost in translation,
Yeah.
which is weird because I find most people struggle with reading backwards. Because when you read
Mm-hmm.
manga, it's not left to right; it's right to left, and
Mm-hmm.
it's from bottom to top, not top to bottom.
Oh, it's bottom to top. That probably would make things make more sense. I did not know about the bottom to top part. I knew it was back to front or like right to left, but
All the photo frames they sort of move this way instead of this way.
that might make it make more sense.
Do you ever think to yourself, "Wow, they skipped a step"?
I mean, it's also like a comic book, so it's kind of like wiggly and nebulous anyway.
Oh yeah, it moves around, and yeah, that doesn't help it any. But yeah, it's back. If you've got back to front, you're most of the way there. It's fine. You'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world.
Anyway, stuff that I'm actually reading. I finished the appendices of The Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage last night.
Cool.
And then I started on Changeling by Roger Zelazny. Robert Zelazny, for sure.
We don't do show notes on live, so I have no idea what you've been reading.
I don't remember. But yeah, it's like 1980s science fantasy, I'm gonna say.
Sure.
It's delightful so far. It's so cheesy. Like, it opens with good versus evil wizard set piece battle, and like, that's page 1.
Oh, good.
And then they go into the moral dilemma of, oh no, the bad evil wizard that we just defeated had a child. But it's a child. We can't kill the child because it's a child. It's a poor kid, and so we're just gonna like swap him with an Earth baby. We'll bring Earth baby over here and have him grow up in Fantasyland, and then Magic baby can grow up on Earth, and he can't ever get back here, and he'll just be like, his magic powers will just be like dismissed or whatever, and it'll all be fine, and we don't have to kill anybody. We'll just steal this baby, give them this kid that we don't want, and everything will be fine.
That really goes well into sort of the changeling mythos for Fae and for some North American gods.
Yeah.
And
And then they
spirits.
like jump right away. Like I'm on chapter like 4, so like there are no spoilers here. But like they jump right away into the kids are growing up, and like Magic Baby is just like when he gets upset, like things start flying off the shelves like poltergeist style, and the parents are like, "Wow, that's really weird."
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, sure, it's fine. It's wonderfully cheesy. I'm enjoying it.
I feel like you would enjoy a lot of changeling myths.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just like cheesy fantasy stories.
Might I recommend Witches Be Crazy?
Yes. Like just based on title, yes.
Well, that and your main protagonist is a hermity, middle-aged, rotund barkeeper. Who opened up an inn because his blacksmithy wasn't doing so well, and he has to save the country from a terminal case of the undead. I just
That just sounds delightful.
that was so good. Oh, it's like right up there with Gork the dragon and the wrong dead body, and like the everything boxes are just messes around with your perception of what the trope should be. I love it. I love it so much.
I'm just catching up on chat here.
Sure. I'm ribbing. Serious, guys, I want these socks off my needles. I want to start my mittens.
Okay, they're talking about Asa's book.
Oh, good.
It is not available in English. It is only in Swedish, so that's fine. I will not read it.
699 books I want to read. I feel like I'm fine for choice.
Yeah, there's plenty of English books. And yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Plus, whatever else I find this year that I want to read. I need to go through and thin that want to read pile down. My tastes will have changed some.
Mm-hmm. Putting books on my shelf last night, and like, I want to read this one and this one and this one. Like, no, just put them on the shelf. They will be there when you get to them.
If I can give a bunch to you and a bunch to Aaron, gets a whole bunch out of my house. I like it.
Make sure you get my new house address before you go sending stuff off.
I need your new house address just because I need updated address information.
Okay. You can do that after.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yep, there's the crash. Second
One
donut.
donut,
Imminent. Second donut.
One donut.
And coffee. And coffee.
I ate a whole row of brownies. I'm fine.
Okay, I think that's everything that I had to talk about.
What's everything I had on my list to go? That covers all the stuff we normally talk about. Wee. I know how to purl. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm proving it right now. Dear Lord.
I did in fact run out of yarn for my sleeve, like 4 rounds in. I need like a quarter of one more cake.
Quarter of a cake? Okay.
Yeah, it's just frustrating.
Same way with the blanket. I ran out of gray and had to start a new ball of gray on the blanket. 12 double crochets.
Oh. I hate that.
Really?
Oh, that's just annoying.
So I have like 80% of a cake or a ball of yarn. Whatever. It's fine.
Adele has popped in to say,
oh, hi.
Happiest 2 centuries. Sorry, I can read really. Wow. I can read real good.
Woo!
Happiest 2 centuries of podcasts. Just popping in to say I so enjoy you. Take good care. Oh, thank you. Ow.
Did you whack yourself?
No, I caught my own cord and pulled my headphones really hard. It's fine.
Wireless headphones with built-in microphone for you. New web camera for me.
Yeah, just something where I'm not attached to my microphone I think would be fantastic. Even if it's sitting on the table in front of me. No, if it's sitting on the table in front of me, I will punch it and spill raspberry cream on it.
Yeah. No, the one I want to get slams to the back of the desk and comes over.
It's got to come down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the little sound thingy in front of it so it can be farther away from you and still pick you up without picking up background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the thing I need to get for you.
I need a camera clamp to the back of my desk because right now I've crammed my camera tripod behind my monitor and it's taking up a lot of my desk. It works, but only just.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure that out and a couple of other bits and bobs, but it's a lot of reading about stuff I'm not very strong on, so I'm not moving fast because I want to be comfortable with the decision. And we're done because I've dropped a stitch, so I gotta pick a stitch up. All right.
Okay. Asa says, I have 8 rows left on the Hybrid Knit Along.
Oh my god, I restarted that by frogging it, not recasting on yet.
Oh. Wait, didn't you had some stuff done on it again, didn't you?
No, I had to frog it last week, and then this week was all about finishing that.
Oh, okay.
14 hours went into the blanket this week, dear. I don't know what you think I've been doing with my evenings.
Right. Yep.
But blanket knitting has really been my thing this week, and crocheting, I should say, and it's done. It's done. I can work on something else, which means yes, I should be able to pick up the hybrid knit along again. Though I'm gonna try to finish my charts on my Half Moon Tea first. So sock, cast on fingerless gloves, MCal, Clue 4, Half Moon Tea. That's my priority this week. Plus whatever else catches my attention and diverts me, because that's how I work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if that's it, I can do an outro.
Cool.
We're
Let's
good?
do it. Yeah, I think we're done. Oh, we've been doing this for 2 hours.
Yeah, this is normal. All right. In which case, I'll say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
No matter where your week takes you, don't
forget to knit. Okay, nope. Wait, let's go to the thing.
Really?